presents the Naveed Mahmood Show. Coming back to your coming to Bangladesh, it was a very interesting journey because normally you go take up a position, you get on a flight and you come here, but this was the time of the pandemic. Flights were not operating. You actually came by surface, and it was, I think, a 2-day road trip. You came to Tripura, you made a pit stop there, you entered through Akhara, and then you came by surface to Dhaka. Interesting experience. How was that?
Well, look, fascinating, because I've always believed that one of the challenges in our relationship with Bangladesh is that we tend to look at each other more from what you would call a culturally familiar prism, which is to say, Bangladesh, for most of our Bangladeshi friends, India is Calcutta. Calcutta is this similar but yet not the same place, right? West Bengal or Assam or Tripura, but much more West Bengal. And from the Indian perspective, Bangladesh tends to also often get looked at from a West Bengal perspective. And I think that, there is this whole country attached to the rest of, to West Bengal and these bits of India. So it's important to get a sense in both countries that the relationship is between the two countries, and that there is a lot more that we can do if we just go beyond what is culturally familiar to us. Tripura, for instance, it's not the largest of our states, but it has a long history of being hugely well disposed to more business, more trade, more tourism from Bangladesh. So, it made sense to me to look at Tripura and the connectivity that we're trying to develop all along that border with Bangladesh, and to come in from there rather than to come in through Calcutta, which is something that's already perhaps over-familiar in the India-Bangladesh context. So I thought Tripura would give us more of a conversation about why the Northeast is more relevant to the India-Bangladesh relationship than we sometimes tend to look at it, And also from a Bangladeshi perspective, why it's vital for our Bangladeshi friends also to pay more attention to northeastern India, where there is a definite advantage for Bangladesh to do much more. So that was kind of the thinking behind it.
So are you was this like a first time that an Indian head of mission took up his position where he went to the host country by surface?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I really don't know. I'm presuming, at least in the India-Bangladesh context, it may well have been, because I think even when Shubhimal Dutt, our first High Commissioner to liberated Bangladesh, came here, I think he came by Air Force aircraft. I don't think he came by road. Because, well, with good reason, much of the infrastructure of connectivity, including bridges, had been bombed out during the war. So he wouldn't have been able to come quite easily by road. And don't forget, he was certainly not only a much wiser man, but also a much older man than I am when I got here.
And how was that? And then once you crossed over, you came to the Akhara crossing point, very close to Brahmanbaria, and in fact, it's very close to my hometown. And then did you, yes. Maybe I should know this, but how did you drive down from there? Did you take a train to Dhaka? What was that journey? How was that journey?
We drove down, and it was a good journey because we actually could see, so much of our shared history there. There was a huge battle at Akhara, then there was Ashuganj. We went through Ashuganj. There's a lot of developmental work already been done between India and Bangladesh together, and Ashuganj is one of the future nodes of connectivity for goods trade from Bangladesh into northeastern India. As the river port expands, roads and rails, there's a whole hub of transportation activity that's coming up in Ashuganj, which goes back to our history, pre-1947 history, where these were again major market towns that served goods coming off the hills of what was then called the Assam Hills, right? And then we drove straight in from there all the way up to 32 Dhanmondi. We went to Bangabandhu's old house so that I could pay tribute on arrival. I thought rather than going home or going anywhere else, it made sense, bearing in mind that this is Mujib Barsho, that bearing in mind that 71 is the organic link between our two countries. It seemed to me to make sense to pay a very personal tribute to this great man, the father of modern Bangladesh, and to then sort of start my duties here. So yeah, so that was the journey coming in.
Wow. So you started from Akhara, you drove first to Dhanmandi even before you went to your
Correct.
own residence.
Correct.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, did you actually make a pit stop in Ashuganj?
Very briefly, basically just to sort of, fuel up the vehicle and stop at a restroom kind of thing, have a quick cup of tea, because it was fairly early in the morning when we left, and we wanted to be able to do Dhaka then in one shot.
So coming to that, I mean, I don't know about you, like, I love road trips, and one of the attractions of a road trip is to have eateries at what you call the hole in the wall. And I've done a lot
Yes.
of road trips in India, and what I enjoyed the most are the dhabas, eating at the dhabas,
Yeah.
Amazing food. So you said you stopped somewhere for a cup of tea. So now, was it like randomly you picked a place, or because of security or the protocol, it was predefined that you're going to stop over there?
Unfortunately, it was the latter. But now that I've been here a few months, I know better, and I'll insist on stopping at places where you get the real authentic stuff. Because what I've seen here in Bangladesh is that one of the enormous charms of this country is that you've preserved a sense of the local very strongly. So you get, for instance, Kamila's
Rasmalai.
Rashmalai is very different from anything else anywhere in the world, and it's spectacularly good. And I know I'm certainly going to irritate a lot of other Bangladeshi friends when I say it's one of the best that I've ever had. But every city seems to have its own speciality. And to be able to do that and to keep that is a sign of a country that really prizes its food culture.
Yeah, so
So to your question, I definitely want to be able to do more pit stops like this, because the food, the roadside stuff, right down to roadside vegetables, everything looks delightful.